Hey everybody, so today I wanted to show you how to make the regular rosettes, and instead of using the Tim Holtz die or the Cricut with the gypsy or anything like that, or border punches, I wanted to do one that uses the slice machine, just because sometimes people only have one thing and it's easier for them. For instance, I don't have a lot of punches, I have the other things, but I still wanted to try it out on the slice to see if I could find a way to do it. So this is how they look. This was my first try, and then there were some things that I had to fix because it looked like lopsided. If you see it from the other side too, I try to hide it with this, but it looked very lopsided from the shape that I used. But I fixed it, and then now it doesn't. And the first one, this one was cut at 4 inches, which is the biggest the slice will give you, and this one was 2. But then this one was not lopsided afterwards. And then this one was cut at, I believe it was 3.5 inches, and then this one here was cut at 3 inches. And you could probably go lower, but that's just the smallest one I've made so far. The design card that I used is I think it's called Remember This. Now I used Remember This, and then it's under the icon that looks kind of like a straight arrow, and it's this shape right there. It kind of looks like, I don't know, a thought bubble, but then different, and it's elongated, which is why it works. And when you cut it out, it comes out to look like that. And then, of course, for the center, you could use any shape that you find. Like, you can cut that at 1 inch is the measurement that you probably want. I mean, you can make it bigger or smaller depending on how big your rosette is going to be for this cartridge. I also found, since, oops, sorry, I know everybody has, if you have a slice, you have the basic elements, the first one, because it comes with it. This one has a similar shape, so you can try it out. I haven't tried it just because it worked with the other one, and I didn't see the need to try it. And this one's a little bit more oval, but it's under the heart icon, and it's this elongated one right here. And then it has this little circle under the button one that you could probably use for the center. I just wanted to give you a different option, so that's the basic, but the one I'm going to be using is Remember This. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn on my machine, and you can see I already cut some out. You only need 3, but I want to show you when you're going to cut them. I mean, where you're going to cut them, but you only need 3. So let me put it on here. I'm just going to position it on my paper where the starting blade is, and it cuts this way, so I'm going to position it here, and it's going to cut like that. And then you just press this button back here to cut. Okay, so there, it cut it for me. Like I said, you only need 3. All the sizes that I did, I only used 3, but it just depends. I guess if you went smaller, you would probably just need 2. So here it is. So the next step is to score it. So I got my Martha Stewart score thing, but if you don't have it, you can just fan fold it or use your trimming machine or a ruler to score it. I'm gonna score it at I hope you guys can see this. I'm gonna score it at every 1/4 of an inch, and so I'm just gonna do that very quickly. So here you have it scored. Now, one thing that you guys want to pay attention to is that these edges, they are not equal. And you know how I showed you the first one, how it was lopsided? I didn't cut them off. So since these are lower in, it pinches in at the end. Basically, the shape does. If you leave these on, you will get an effect that looks like that. I mean, unless you want it, I don't, you want to trim those off with your scissors. And so you just trim it off. Just the last score line, and I scored it first because I was cutting them off and then scoring them, but then I wasn't getting equal endings to them, so just cut these off. Okay, and then the next thing that you want to do is take all 3 of your pieces, and then you're just going to glue the last tab onto the first one, well, the last one with the first one, and then just glue them all together. Of course, my glue is dry. And I'm using quick dry adhesive, but you can use anything that you like. Neato. Have to poke it like always. They get closed up, so I just poked it really quick. And do this before you do the fan fold, just because it'll make it easier to figure out. It's okay if you get adhesive on. Of course, the last one you're going to have to do after you do the fan fold, but this one's okay like this. And so what you get is basically the big shape, the long, and you can see it might look a little lopsided because I could have cut off another thing, but then it would have been harder to squish back in. But you get that big, long, basic, like if it was the one that I cut from the Tim Holtz. Anyway, and so now you're just gonna fan fold it where your score lines are at, and if you didn't score, you could just do this. Maybe follow the little markings from the shape. Okay, so this is what you should get. This is what you should get once you fan folded the whole thing, and then you are going to turn it around and put some glue on this tab and then glue it on there, and that way you won't be able to see where your glue is at, where your gluing was at. And just hold it for a bit. Get it on there right, but hold it for a bit, and then since it's a quick dry adhesive, it will do it quickly. Hopefully. You'd be surprised though, depending on how much you put on there too. Anyway, so there you go. You get your little tube. And then you could cut out the little circle shapes like I told you. But I'm just gonna use this Martha Stewart punch. I got this at Ross for $2.99, and I've seen it there a lot, so you might be able to find it there. I'm pretty sure it's an old one, but it works for this. And then just, the good thing is you can see what you're getting on there, if it matters to you. Okay. Now for the hard part, I mean, and basically everything else is the same. The only thing is that you're using your slice machine to cut out your original shape, and then you're gonna have to score it, and that's an extra step from the Sizzix die from Tim Holtz. But otherwise, if you're using your Cricut or a border punch, it's the same thing. You're still gonna have to score and glue. Well, even for the other one, you have to glue, but you're still gonna have to score it around and do all that. So I'm gonna use a glue gun just because it's quicker, and I hate having to hold it there forever. So you're just gonna squish in, and then of course, it never wants to do it when you're demonstrating it. I usually turn it around so that I can put my glue dot on the top and I can see what I'm doing, and I Try to hold it so it won't move. And be careful, because if you get some hot glue on your fingers, it will not be pleasant. Okay. And then I'm just going to take one of these circles, put it on there, and then, whoa. And then I'm going to turn it around. And then that way I can squish it and see how it looks from this side. But you can wait until it dries on the other side and then turn it around. But I like turning it around right away, even though you risk losing your shape. I mean, you know, just everything going everywhere. But I like doing that because then I can see how it looks on this side. So it's pretty much dried. And then you can do whatever you want on the top. I'm just going to do this because of the demonstration, but you guys can see that you can add anything that you want, some tulle, anything. So, and I mean, that's just, you can do crazy things if you wanted. Oh great, my glue sticks are out, and I hope I have one around here somewhere. I don't, so I'm just going to use a homemade glue dot. But ideally, oh good, I got like 3 on there accidentally. But still, ideally, I would use a glue gun just because I like it better. And there, that's your rosette. You can add a button, do whatever you want to it. I was squishing the last little juice from the glue gun. I mean, people don't like the glue gun because it gives bulk. Sometimes if you use a lot of glue, and then also it's a little bit messy. And if it's not out, really you have to go and connect it and everything. But most of the time it's out for me, so. And then I put it on there a little bit wrong, but it doesn't matter. These things don't bother me as much. But anyway, that's it. That's all that you do. And like I said, if you have your basic elements card, play around with it. I'm pretty sure it'll give you the same effect because the shape is pretty much the same thing. And this is how you get your rosette. And then in the back, it's like that, just the same as every other one. And you can do anything, you know, put it on anything that you want. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and